Let's talk about the issue of the merit retention of 3 Supreme Court justices. I mean, Brandon, I think people might have thought going into this that perhaps those justices were in danger of being defeated or pulled off the court.
And they were troubled about that. The legal community was troubled about that. I mean, you look back 2 years ago with just basically a 6-week campaign. Justice Jorge Labarja was held below 60%. It was one of the tightest judicial retention races since we started having judicial retention races back in the 1970s. In the end, though, there was never really any money behind the effort. You didn't see any television ads except maybe from the justices. There was just never any there. There was a group that was making noise about challenging the justices, but either they couldn't raise the money or that they couldn't get organized, whatever happened, and all the justices won easily. They each took more than 2/3 of the vote, so it was an easy go.
Why did the GOP target them, so to speak? What's behind that?
Well, you look at the Supreme Court, there's basically a 5-2, it may not be a liberal majority, but there's a 5-2 majority that has at times been willing to tell Republican governors and Republican legislatures that they've gone too far, that they've violated the Constitution. They threw out the first draft of the Senate redistricting plan. Justices Barbara Pariente, Fred Lewis, and Peggy Quince are central to that 5-2 majority, and I think Republicans thought if they could get rid of those 3, then they would have an easier time getting Supreme Court decisions that would go their way.
In the final analysis, I wonder whether the Republican Party just sort of threw that out there as a kind of a bone to the base, because if they didn't put any money behind it, on the other side, there were particularly trial lawyers, but law firms in general, put millions of dollars into supporting the justices' retention. So, you know, when there's that kind of disparity in one of these races, it's very important.